York's classic rock, Q1043.
Welcome back. Jonathan Clarke here on Q1043's Out of the Box with the great Noel Gallagher in the studio. How are you, man?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very good. The new album is, I'll hold up this delicious piece of vinyl right here for Nick, who's shooting the album. It's Chasing Yesterday. Noel will be at Governor's Ball here in New York City, June 7th. Johnny Marr, your good friend on this album, right?
Yeah.
He's on that song.
The last one, The Ballad of the Mighty Eye.
The Ballad of the Mighty. And let me just touch on this one thing. This awesome photo I saw of you with Morrissey and Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
I was in LA on vacation with my wife and kids, and Russell was in not on vacation. He was doing some stand-up when he was a comedian. He's not a comedian anymore.
He's an activist now or something, right?
That's one way of putting it. Yeah. And obviously Morrissey lives there, and Morrissey, he'd been with Morrissey the night before, and I was with Russell, and he said, Morrissey's saying we should go out for a drink. So we texted him, and we all went out for a drink, and which pretty much amounted to me and Morrissey bullying Russell, which was it was maybe one of the greatest moments of my life.
Well, now does Morrissey carry around a mixtape or something?
Yeah, CD. Yeah, I'm not sure whether he carries it around, but he had one on him that night. Not of his own music, of just different songs from the 70s. And he got the whoever ran the bar to put this CD on because he couldn't handle the music.
Not an iPhone, but a CD.
Yeah, old school. Yeah. In
the studio with Noel Gallagher. Again, the new album is Chasing Yesterday. Check him out at Governor's Ball here in the city, June 7th. So you're friends with Morrissey and you're friends with Johnny Marr. So maybe you're the guy that
the mediator.
The mediator.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
That's probably not going to happen.
I don't think I've ever spoke to either of them about the Smiths. Maybe Johnny musically, but I'm not sure. It's not my place, is it? You know what I mean?
So Morrissey's playing Madison Square Garden, which evidently he got them to go meat free for the night.
Yeah. That's power, isn't it?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Your new album, Chasing Yesterday, you produced.
This is not meat free, by the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a meat eater, so I can relate. You produced this one yourself. Right?
Yeah.
Different for you this time, or
great? It's great. I will let you into a little secret of what the difference between self-production and what production is. When you're doing a backing track with a producer, you will sit and go through the track, and you'll do a take, and you'll think it's great, and you'll go in and listen to it, and a producer will say, yeah, it's good, but that bit there, we need to do something with that bit. That bit's too long, or it's too short, or that's not right, and that's not right. And you think, oh, okay, and you kick it around for 4 or 5 hours, and then, waste a full day trying to change something that's incidental. When you're self-producing, I would sit and do a track and go in and listen to it and just think, well, clearly I'm a genius. Nothing could possibly be better than this in the history of music. Surely this is a peak. And I wouldn't change anything. So I let a lot of stuff go, and I didn't really... I wasn't very meticulous about it, even though the record does sound great, my favourite sounding record. But working with yourself and working with producers, I like working with producers because you get to share the experience of making a record. But for this one, I was looking for a producer, and every time I meet with one, they, for whatever reason, couldn't do it. Then I do a bit more work in it, and then I meet with another, and then it was David Holmes, the producer, who I played it to, and I said, "Do you want to work on these tracks?" And he said, "It's already finished." So, and I just kind of went back in the studio and kind of tarted it up and finished it off, and that was it, really.
Well, you touched on this before. I mean, I love all the Oasis stuff, but it seems like this album, the last album, it really sounds a lot better. Like production-wise, the bass is good, and everything you can hear things a lot better. Well,
when you're in a band and you are in a band dynamic, everything is done by committee. Who's going to play the bass? Who's going to play this? Who's going to do that? And what's it going to sound like? And
how long is my solo going to be? And
there's there's a lot, and there's a lot of great things about that. Because sometimes it gets you out of a hole. Somebody will come up with a brilliant idea. sometimes it can be an unnecessary thing that has to occur to keep everybody interested. And if I'm being honest, I'd probably prefer making records this way, where you live and die by your own decisions, you know. But there's benefits to them both, for sure.
Noel Gallagher in the studio with us. The new album is Chasing Yesterday. I want to ask you, who is this gentleman?
That's two gentlemen. They are identical twins. If anybody are fans of the WWE, they'll be aware of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt brothers. It's not them. The guy on the left is the guy who engineered the record and played all the good guitar solos.
Oh, really? Okay.
The guy on the right is the drummer who drummed on the record, and quite clearly is the most eccentric, annoying man I think I've ever met. But they are with me. There was just us three in the studio at any given point.
Let's play Riverman. Now, is there a saxophone in this song? So that's kind of new for you, the whole horn thing, right?
Not. I mean, I've used brass sections before, but to have a saxophone solo is a bit. It was great. It was a great moment when I had the song and there was however many bars there are left for nothing for something to happen. And it's after a great guitar solo played by the guy there on the left, whose name's Paul Stacey.
It is a good guitar solo,
yeah, I couldn't come up with anything as spectacular as that, so I let him do it. And I just heard a saxophone, and we got this guy down, and who's since been on tour with us. And we played him Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon. And he knew the
good place to start.
And he knew the saxophone player in question. And we said, well, that style then, the style of Dick Parry, I believe. And he went in and did a number of takes, and we cut it all together. And it was a real I've had some great moments in the studio down the years of listening to things and thinking, wow, that is great. You know, like when I finished Don't Look Back in Anger, or The Importance of Being Idle, or Supersonic and Rock and Roll Star. This was one of those moments where it's like, wow, that's amazing, you know.
Riverman is the song here on Q1043's Out of the Box. Noel, I have to ask you about this. You made some more headlines today. Did you see this?
Yeah, I wasn't actually slamming the poor kid. I was merely pointing out that it might not have been the best career move. I mean, look, clearly One Direction are only going to last for another 3/4 of an hour anyway.
Why wouldn't it? What's the biggest mistake in rock and roll? I thought it was Mick Taylor leaving the Stones.
Bill Wyman leaving the Stones has got a rank.
They're right, yeah, right up there, yeah.
Right up there. The biggest mistake in rock, I don't know. Some people are making them on a daily basis, aren't they?
Whether they be musical or personal.
Yeah, I mean, let's not get into it now, but off camera I'll tell you a few.
Okay. We're in the studio with Noel Gallagher, and I want to play this other excellent song from the new album, Lock All the Doors. Is this a reworked Oasis song or something?
It's not reworked. It's never been recorded. I had the song 23 years ago called Lock All the Doors, and before we even had a record deal. And I gave half of it away to we call them a techno duo called the Chemical Brothers.
I remember that.
And so I gave the verse away, and I always meant to finish the song off, but it took me 23 years to get there. So half of it, half the verses and brand new, and the chorus is quite old. Yeah.
It's Noel Gallagher. The new album is Chasing Yesterday. See him live, Governor's Ball here in New York City, June 7th. Go out and get this excellent new album. Noel, thank you so much for the time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
All right.